want to be the hero of your own story. When you tell your story, you want to be, it's what connects with other people. So your about page on your website should not be necessarily about you. On a clinic's website, it should be about your patients. And then when you talk about yourself, then it's about, okay, here's my story, but not my qualifications. So with an online business, the about page is a little different because it's not necessarily about the visitors, but it can be, about Aaron LeBauer, about Andra. You'll see on my LeBauer consulting page, the about is about me, but it's not necessarily all my qualifications for being on there. It's about my transformation and being a hero, of my own story. So that's what this is. You got to be the hero of your own story, and you want to go over the aha moments, like these places where you grow. So for me, it was seeing 43 patients in one day when we were in Snellville. It was when Frank told me on that same clinical rotation that no one's going to pay more than their copay for physical therapy. It was when I became a massage therapist. After a bike ride, I have these aha moments. So what we want to do is explain the aha moments we had, because that's what's going to connect with other people. Because they'll be like, oh, I feel the exact same way. Mm-hmm. I want to hang out with Andra. They want to be in the same room as you. And our patients, we can do that with our patients as well. And that's something that I'm going to, that's on my plan to put into like my email sequence for our patients is, here's my story about why I became a physical therapist. Like, I haven't put that in, but that's very powerful, and that's more like the email sequence that follows this about. So we need to be vulnerable, because if you don't tell your story, people don't care. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can get meditation from anyone, you can get physical therapy from anyone, but people want to get it from you or from me. They want me, from you guys. They want to get physical therapy from someone they know, love, and trust. And so building the trust is about, we also have to relate to people. So you want to, also when you're writing your about page, especially for like an online business, you want to have some social proof in there. So for me, the way I start, it's, Aaron LeBauer is the host of the Cash PT Lunch Hour podcast. So that puts me as like, hey, that's my authority. So I would, if I started my plain bio, it might be, for PT, it might be Aaron LeBauer is a physical therapist in Greensboro, North Carolina, and these are the things he loves to do. But it would be less about my not my achievements, my certifications in physical therapy, and more about like my achievements in life and with helping patients. But that's not relatable. It's got to go back to the vulnerability piece. So, and we're going to have probably like a 50-word, 100-word bio, and then like a 500-word bio. And it's, and you want to cover kind of the story, the social proof, the credibility, like why should people listen to you? What's your experience with the topic? So in meditation, it might be I've been meditating for 20 years. I've used meditation to solve this big problem in my life, which is part of your story. Mm-hmm. Like, meditation helps keep me grounded so I don't yell at my kids. Right. Right? So that's the basic gist, but you want to be there's like a story structure. There has to be, who's the hero? There has to be conflict. What was the conflict? And what was the resolution to the conflict? So you got to have conflict, because that's what creates a good story. And then we weave this story throughout our narrative on our website, emails, reasons that people buy. It's part of the story.
Is it important to include some like quirky hobby or like that's like not necessarily related? I see that a lot where people would be like, you love going camping with your family, or you love working on scooters, or you love, something. I think
so. But it has to be, part of it has to be to build the character and depth of character, not like as a side. It's like I love to work on my vintage scooters. No one knows what that is.
So is that good or bad?
I don't think it detracts, but it doesn't. I don't know, maybe y'all can tell us, but it doesn't like...
Does it add or distract?
It doesn't like, it doesn't take away,
Okay.
as long as it's not taking up too much space and I'm not spending time on it. But if it's something like just totally out there and aberrant, it probably doesn't really matter. But it's like, what do you like to do with your free time? Like we all know I work hard all day long in my sleep, and I don't work on my scooters as much as I'd like to. I think those things. But if it's like, I won 5 championships in bowling, like,
Right.
If you're a national, meditation
If it makes
team
you
member,
sound boring, don't include it.
if you're like so Lewis Howes, he talks about his, he's a podcast host. He's got, he's been on these Ellen show, and he's a member of the USA National Handball. He talks about growing up as a kid, blah, blah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Russell Brunson talks about how he basically was a wrestler, wanted to provide for his family, and so he started selling stuff online. It's like his aha moment was, Russell's aha moment was more like, okay, I can sell potato guns online. It's like he started telling how to make potato guns online, and it was like blew up, even though it wasn't a big thing. So I think that's the gist of it. And you want to have I mentioned this before, like a 100-word bio, 500-word bio, something short and sweet for publications or the very beginning of your website, and something a little bit longer that can go more in depth.
Certification should be in here, or just after your name?
If it's related,
Okay.
I also think that too many letters after your name, people don't care what the letters are.
Right.
I would say more like, Andra does X, Y, and Z. Like if she's a meditation expert,
Mm-hmm.
She's been practicing meditation and teaching it for 18 years. You want to include transformational benefits other than features. So the transformational benefit of doing meditation is, like, what do you get out of meditation? It's like being, sane in life, feeling good, feeling grounded. So I've been teaching yoga, meditation to people for this many years to help people do X, Y, and Z. Or meditation has helped me do X, Y, and Z, like all these things. The biggest mistakes that I've seen people make is not sharing their authentic story. They share a little bit, but they don't share the vulnerable parts. And when you share the vulnerable parts, people really connect with you, and they don't care what you have to say or sell. They want to do business with you.
Okay.
If you're vulnerable. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank
Anything
you.
else?